Hi, this is Mushtaq Ahmed participating in DevSpaces Hackathon. This is the hackathon number 2, which is about DevSpaces extension. Developing the most impactful extension is going to win the prize. For this, I have developed two extensions. One is based on a tool called Archex, the architecture expert, and another called the Dev Factory Language Server platform. I'll cover both of these shortly. You should probably be watching this video in a 2x speed. Firstly, architectural expert. This is a tool that provides lots of great insights about a code base, such as cyclic dependency, feedback dependency, and so on. And it provides a beautiful visualization of the same. So in this case, what you're seeing here is a code base analyzed and represented through something called a dependency structure matrix (DSM) that allows you to quickly see where you have feedback dependencies, which are inconsistencies and so on in the code base. Since I don't have uh, everything in detail, you could go through this documentation here, which is going to help you understand the concepts. So the main goal here is to make code base more organized so that it's easy to maintain further, as well as it's this tool suggests the refactorings that you should be doing. So it can both find and fix issues for you at an architecture level. One simple example is you have two packages depending on each other, and you want to make sure that there is a dependency hierarchy, not cycles between them. All right. Let me quickly also show you the demo of how this tool would work. So we have here we have the option. We have this launch archex tool command. As soon as you run that, in the background, a process runs, and then that's going to provide automatically open up a link where you can browse the results like this. So it's going to take about a minute or so. So, and then it's going to show the results. So here are some of the existing repositories, right? So this was automatically opened up from right from the ID. So you can see here that ArcX report was generated, and we can see the issues here. So let's go quickly see an issue called entanglement here, where a bunch of packages here are all jumbled together. So here you can see what's the issue, why there is an issue, and what are the various packages involved in the issue, etc. And some distribution uh, about the probability of facing issues in this package, etc. I don't have time to go in details, but definitely take a look at it. Moving on, I have this another big thing called the language server platform. So let me explain to you what this is all about. So in simple terms, the language server platform allows you to bridge an IDE, be it IntelliJ, VS Code, anything, to something which I call the diagnostic app. And here you can see the documentation of the APIs and so on. So there are a couple of concepts here that you should quickly understand, and also I'll tell you why this would be really great for DevSpaces. Um, so what we have is the underlying framework called the language server protocol, which allows us to develop tools such that you can have different languages and different front ends IDs. They can all work together. You don't have to build n times m objects. Rather, you can just build a language server and you can connect to it from any IDE. So in this particular case, what I have developed here is that I can connect to any of these IDs, be it Atom, Eclipse, IntelliJ, VS Code. I have clients developed for all of them, and I have a common generic server which allows me to talk to, which allows me to provide intelligent analysis to each of the tool. We can do refactoring, we can provide insights, say from CAP and code graph. All those things are possible with this technology. So what I have done here is particularly interesting in that you can take this the platform server, which is a REST server that mediates between various IDs and various diagnostic apps. Currently for this hackathon, what I have done is deployed the applications in a droplet in DigitalOcean, where I have a diagnostic app running as well as a REST server running. Let me quickly show you how all of this works end to end. So this is what happens in this extension. So you have your Git pod, you have your Thea IDE, and within that runs a LSP client. Again, I have written the code for that, and that launches a language server, which periodically takes a snapshot of your code base, only the open files, and then uploads it to S3. And the message about this upload is sent to a REST server, which further keeps track of that, and it manages a host of diagnostic apps. So in this particular example, I have developed a simple diagnostic app called the SandyMets app, just for the demonstration purpose, which provides you insights about number of lines a method has, to if it's too many, and if there are more than 4 parameters in a method, and so on. There are some 4 rules that are implemented in the diagnostic app, and the diagnostic app provides the results, and that goes and gets collected in a database. And from that, periodically the language server that's running locally within the Git pod gets back the results and publishes the diagnostic into the IDE. So this is a truly cloud powered, what do you say? This is a truly cloud powered IDE. So it is connecting your IDEs to insights, as well as you could do refactoring. So there are lots of resources. This is one of my previous projects. All I did for this hackathon was spend about 4 hours of time and stitch both of these things with Gitpod. So what you get is your ID and connect it to various insight apps, as well as refactorings and so on. Everything that you could do with the power of language server, that is available to you within the Git pod. Now let me show you a demonstration of how that would look like. So imagine I have my IDE open, and I have these. Well, here are the extensions that I installed: Gitpod Archex and Gitpod LSP Cloud. So this is a language server protocol powered by cloud. By typically it is powered by a tool that's running locally, whereas in this case it is a truly cloud powered inside provider. So here I just go about opening files, doing my minding my own business, right? Let's keep looking it out. So as you can see, as I'm opening files and so on, so we have this language server that's running, uploading zips, and then getting the diagnostics, and then providing us with the diagnostics. So here are some of the diagnostics I got back from my language server. So here are the 4 rules that I have configured. Here it found a method which has 6 parameters, while the limit is to have 4 parameters. And here we found a method which has too many statements, while 10 is the limit for the number of statements. So how is all this magic happening? Language server protocol. And that is what all the extensions on VS Code are built on, especially for a language like Java, which lacks a lot of support inside uh, Gitpod, be it even VS Code. A language server and code graph is a combination that I would want to be creating further. So that's all for this particular demo hackathon. Uh, I could also show you some more things, like the logs that you saw from the server side. So here's the REST server that's running, that's being sent with snapshots, triggers, etc. And here is a worker that's running through SQS, SNS queues, and so on. This is a pretty big project, but I managed to set it up and uh, put this thing together. I think I would want to take a very short time and then show you what was really the engineering that went behind all of this. There is a lot of code here. You should definitely take your time and go through it. But for the simplicity of revealing the magic, this is what I had to do for the integration. So I have my Archex server running. All I do is launch my Archex command line tool that scans the issues in the cloud. Again, all these insights are provided are not being run locally within the Git pod. Rather, it is offloaded to a separate server running inside the DigitalOcean droplet. And then I open up the Archix report and show it to you here. This is a very simple extension. And now let me quickly go over the second extension that I created, so called the LSP Cloud. And here is the source code for that. The language server protocol client. This is a client which instantiates a connection to a subprocess called language server, which is a Python process that runs locally, which connects to the REST API REST APIs in hosted again in the DigitalOcean. So nothing specific to DigitalOcean. It can be hosted anywhere, and it's a simple piece of code here. This is all built with the magic that VS Code language server brings into the plate. So this is the source code of the language client itself. Well, the code for language server and so on. There's extensive documentation and about the previous projects, and you could go through that. And in this particular demonstration, I have used Arduino as a project for testing. So it's my dummy project on which I am running my analysis. It has some Java code for the sake of demonstration. And folks, that's it. That's how I managed to pull this feat using my previous projects, ArcX and Dev Factory Language Server platform. This can be used to extend DevSpaces. As I said, this is a platform. It's more than just a single extension. You can build tons and tons of feature on top of this platform. Be sure to look into it and contact me further to take DevSpaces to the next level, where you are getting cloud-powered real-time insights. And here is the demonstration of the same thing with VS Code, which I had to do initially to develop locally. It's still a lot of pain to develop extension within Gitpod, whereas VS Code has made it natively a lot simpler. There are ways to easily debug and run and develop locally, especially the extensions. So yeah, that's a bit of challenge that I faced in this hackathon. And that's all, folks. Thanks a lot. Take care. Bye bye.